Okay, I'm going to hand over to Sangeeta to start the webinar today. Sangeeta, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for joining us this afternoon. We're bringing you the amazing destination of Nassau today. We're going to talk about the luxury product in Nassau. So we're joined today by Erica, who will be talking about the Cove and the Reef. And then we've got a lovely Gary, who's going to be telling us all about the beautiful sandals. By way of introduction, I am the marketing director, account director here for Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board here in UK and Europe. So I'm your point of call if you have any questions, if you need any help with anything, any images or anything at all, that's everything Nassau. Please reach out to me and I will share my contact details a little bit later. So with that, I will quickly take you virtually to Nassau Paradise Island. I'll start my presentation now, and then we'll have Gary talk about sandals, followed by Erica, and then there'll be time for you to ask plenty of questions. We're all here for you, all ready to answer any questions you have ahead of the peaks. So sit back and let's take you to Paradise Island. Right, go to share now. Quite didn't work. Let's try again. Oh, bear with me. We have technical issues. That they happen to me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, it's there.
The best laid plans.
Let's see. Apologies, guys. Oh, look, there's Sarah's cat. Right, here we go. Hopefully you can all see my presentation now.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Here we go. Let's take you to Nassau. Lovely. So hopefully that's given you a nice visual of what there is to do in Nassau, how amazing and crystal clear the water is. It's great for families. It's great for friends getaway. It's great for multi-generational travel. It's great for couples. It's great for honeymoon. And I'm here to tell you a little bit more about the member hotels that we look after. But first, how do you get to the Bahamas? How do you get to Nassau? So there is direct flights from London Heathrow, both on British Airways and on Virgin. And then, of course, you've got amazing connections from Florida, from New York, from Boston, any of the East Coast destinations. So think about all the customers, all the clients that you send every year to Florida. Maybe Nassau can be an extension of their holiday there. Think about a combination with New York, and Four Seasons New York and Four Seasons Nassau. So plenty. One of the unique combinations that we talk about is via Canada. So how about Air Canada via Toronto? You could do a combination of Niagara Falls, so the city. So you could do Ontario and Nassau. So plenty of options. Do go on to a training program, which is via Nassau Rewards program, and you'll get a lot more information. Of course, you've got my contact. I share it at the end of the presentation. Reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to give you more pointers. So British Airways at the moment is flying 6 times a week. So for the first time ever, we have so many flights going into Nassau. So Nassau is highly accessible. It's about a 9-hour flight direct into Paradise. So think about Nassau as you think about the Caribbean. As of March, we're super, super excited to announce that BA is going to go daily. So there is a daily flight as of March to Nassau. Virgin at the moment is flying twice a week, again from Heathrow. So great, you know, in terms of connections from the region or European connections. And then it's increasing to 4 times a week from the 15th of December all the way up to end of March. So again, Nassau is highly accessible. It's a direct flight for both of them. Just a quick snapshot of our member hotels. In terms of distances from the airport, once you arrive in Nassau, to get to Cable Beach, it's about a 15 to 20 minutes transfer. Into downtown Nassau is about a 30 minutes transfer, and then across the bridge onto Paradise Island is about 45 minutes transfer. So as you can see on landing, you can be enjoying Bahama Mamas on beautiful powdery sandy beach with crystal clear water within 1 hour of arriving in destination. A snapshot of our member hotels, of course, Sandals Royal Bohemian. Gary is going to tell us all the wonderful things about that shortly. We've got the Bahama Luxury Resort, which is inclusive of SLS Bahamar, Grand Hyatt, and Rosewood. And then in downtown Nassau, we've got Margaritaville, which is a beautiful, fun family product. You can literally walk out of the hotel and into downtown Nassau. You can go to the waterfront, enjoy all the local restaurants, the hubbub, the straw market. So it's really good. And then across from on the bridge across to Paradise Island is Atlantis, and Erica will tell us a lot more about that, and I'll cover some of the hotels that are our member hotels. So let's go on to a deep dive into Bahamar. As you can see, it's a beautiful resort. You've got a water park, you've got a variety of restaurants, you've got 3 hotels. The way I would recommend you think about the hotels is your Rosewood Bahamar is the exclusive high-end hotel, also has a separate entrance. If you've got clients who do not like to come through the main lobby or main entrance of a resort hotel, then it's quite nice for them to feel special that their transfers can bring them right up via the private entrance into Rosewood. Grand Hyatt is the fun hotel. It's right in the middle of the resort. It's got all the restaurant. It's got the largest casino as well in the lobby. Sorry, let's go back to that. And then SLS Bahamar is, the fun, quirky hotel. You've got the Sky Bar at the top. So, everybody can enjoy I think the sunsets at Sky Bar are amazing. But all the guests staying at all 3 hotels have full access to the water park and all the restaurants. You also have a fantastic golf course. Some of the quirky things about the resort, you've got yogas with flamingo, which is quite fun. Even they do the flamingos march around the resort at certain time of the day, so kids can interact. So it's great multi-generational resort. You've got the grandparents who want to enjoy the fun during the day with the rest of the family, but then retreat back into their hotel, then Rosewood could be an option. The younger family members can stay in Grand Hyatt, which is, like I said, plenty of activities going on, amazing pool. And then, the party goers can be in SLS Bahama. But having said that, SLS tells us that 40% of their audience is family. So please, if you've got an a client who's a fan of SLS, then, please, by all means, highly recommend SLS Bahama. Just a quick snapshot of what the interiors look like. Beautiful, neutral colors. You've got 299 rooms in SLS with 4 restaurants and 5 bars. You have dedicated pool with butler service. And then Rosewood is you know, it's a home away from home concept. It's got beautiful suites and villas, 2 restaurants, 2 bars. But again, guests staying at SLS and Rosewood have access to all the restaurants that are part of Grand Hyatt. Moving on to downtown Nassau. Anybody here who might be selling cruise, I just wanted to mention, give a shout out that we have a new cruise port and waterfront development. Where you see the cruise ship is where all the hustle and bustle happens. This is where the store market is. You can walk around, you can do foodie tours, you can visit the Pirate Museum, you can visit the Junkanoo Museum. There's so much going on in downtown Nassau. And we also have a member hotel who has, it's a small hotel, but with a big personality, and I'd like to cover that shortly. It's actually a good option for your clients to go and maybe have lunch or enjoy some activities while they're in port. Margaritaville, like I said, it's a fun, quirky hotel. There is a water park. Nassau now has 3 water parks. So we've got one at Bahamas, one at Margaritaville, and of course we've got the huge water park at Atlantis. So great product for families. So think about, when you think about families, think about Nassau for us, please. Margaritaville has got 295 luxury ocean view rooms, suites and residences, 12 restaurants and bar. And like I said, you could literally step out of the resort and you have access to all of downtown. So this is Greycliff. It's a small hotel, 21 rooms, but it's a hotel with a big personality. It's got the Bahama barrel, so you can, there is a sommelier who helps you mix your own wine. You have the largest private collection of wines in a cellar there. You can have private dining, so any special celebrations, anybody who's got a big budget, you know, then this is quite special. The restaurant is amazing. You also have cigar factory there and the chocolate factory. So like I said, plenty happening in this little hotel. If you've got clients looking to do something outside of resort, or they're you know, in port for a few hours, recommend Greycliff, recommend the activities there for us. Moving on across to Paradise Island. I just want to cover a couple of things here. The Ocean Club, which is a 4 Seasons resort. I mentioned that you could pair it up with New York 4 Seasons. It's a beautiful hotel. It's got villas and residences. So if you've got clients, perhaps, you know, thinking about the multi-generational or special celebrations, honeymooners, this is amazing. It's the playground of the famous celebrities. It's featured in Bond movies. So if you've got any Bond fan, this is a hotel to look out for. And here is a quick reminder of our incentive for any 4 nights at any of our member hotels. You will get £20 in rewards. We say 4 nights because we appreciate that Nassau could be an extension from another island, or it could be from USA or Canada. Like I said, I've listed down our member hotels, and the QR code will give you access to a brochure that lists down all our member hotels. So hopefully that's given you a quick insight into what you can do, which you can recommend your clients do in Nassau. And actually, if you sell, you log your bookings. We often take you know, the top sellers on a fam trip with us to the Bahamas. So please log your bookings. Please you know, continue supporting us. All of you who've logged your bookings so far, we appreciate it. We are looking to do a fam trip in April. So sell, and shout out if we can help you in any form of shape. So over to Gary. I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Sangeeta. That was really kind of you. I shall now carry on to tell you all the exciting things about our resorts, if I can do. Just get my, hold on, yeah, get the right presentation up there. That's always a bonus. Hopefully you can see that in front of you. You can't, okay, cool. Right, well, welcome everybody. My name is Gary Atwell and I'm the Business Development Manager for Sandals Resorts. This is me. I'm going to take you in to tell you all about Sandals Royal Bahamian, one of my favourite Sandals resorts. I've been with the company for 21 years now. So that was me, that was fat me 21 years ago. And this is me nowadays. Same tie on, hope you noticed the continuity, very important that. Got the same tie on, it's 21 years old, I think. And then what I am to increase the business as best I can for Sandals in Nassau. And obviously I've got 5 other colleagues as well within Sandals business development team. We've got David and Faye, Lorraine, Neil and Tamsin. And we've got all their contact details if you want to pick up on anything there is that you need to know after today's presentation, which is going to be so exciting. It's probably the most motivational webinar you're ever going to attend in the history of webinars. So start off with a bit of a history on Sandals Resorts. When I started off 21 years ago, we had Mr. Stewart as the chairman and founder. And what the sort of theme of my presentation is trying to give a little bit of inspiration, you know, after everything we've had in the past few years, we're really hopefully getting back to a really good 2023 ahead of us. Less admin and obviously more bookings to be done. So I like to say like Mr. Stewart kind of inspired me to, again, try and be the best of myself to try and get business in. And one of the great things about the company and working for Sandals is you could always have a chance to meet him. They were so approachable, Mr. Stewart. So we had lunch with him many a time, just sharing ideas. You know, I wasn't his best friend, but it was great that he was approachable and you could spend time with him. So that was really good for me to be able to do that and touch him and get in touch with him. And then also he and his son Adam have a private jet, as you probably all have back home. I use mine to get around my region. Obviously, Sandals are so well paying. This is a photo of my jet that I do my appointments in. But again, the chance to experience flying inter-island on the chairman's jet is something, again, that is quite incredible about Sandals as a company, because it's a family company, and it still is, because his son Adam is obviously the new chairman, executive chairman, and again they have the chance that he's always there for you to meet him, to spend time with him, and to share ideas and help develop the resorts. So it's a great company again to be employed with and work for, and very exciting in moving forward. And after telling a bit about obviously the Stewarts and their history with starting off Sandals in 1981, we go move on to see what's new at Sandals. And what's new? Well, Sandals Royal Bahamian. It's not new, but it is kind of new, to be honest with you. So downtown Nassau, as you mentioned earlier, Sanjita, we've got British Airways historically flying to Nassau, but obviously now have the additional seating capacity with Virgin Atlantic as well. So that's a great option now, because remember, the only way we can get there is if there's enough flights. We've got loads of hotel space, loads of rooms to fill. So the more flights we have, the more opportunity we have to get to Nassau. So it's great to know it's going twice weekly in a Dreamliner, and then increasing in the winter schedule as well. So that's always a huge bonus. So choice for customers where they prefer BA or whether their flying club is Virgin, you know, with their group. I think they've just joined with KLM and Air France into that group. So again, beneficial for the customers in that flying program. And then introducing the all-new Sandals Royal Bahamian. Well, there she is. There's been drastic changes. She reopened in January this year after a multi-million-dollar refurbishment. We have now got the West Bay and the East Bay building, which you can see. Funnily enough, on the left-hand side is not the West Bay, but the East Bay. And on the right-hand side is the West Bay. So it's looking in the resort outward, west and east. So again, it might be confusing, but you get there in the end. But it's a stunning new resort and the developments are massive. Got a wee map here to show you. There you go. So if we're standing in the resort looking outbound towards our private island, You'll see the West Bay there at the top of the screen. Then we've got the Coconut Grove, which is the new sort of cultural meeting point and, you know, socialising area. And then we've got the East Bay, again, at the bottom of the screen there, with the island village, with a lot of our butler suites, all to the rear of the resort. So you've got the choice there of maybe having a little garden villa, you know, peace and quiet away from the biz. You've got the West Bay Village, which overlooks one of the main pools, which is a little bit more lively, a little more atmosphere around it, you know, with things going on during the day, activities, in-pool aerobics, that type of thing. But you've also got the pool at the East Bay there, and that pool's the quiet pool. So if you want to just chill and relax, read a book, I don't know, listen to music. Does anybody read a book nowadays? Who knows? If you want to just go onto social media, whatever your thing is, you can do it. Whether you're an influencer or whatever it is nowadays that we are, again, there's some great spots in the resort to, again, take your photographs. So we had a whole new refurbishment program done, even right up to the actual arrivals area, where we used to have massive statues of Neptune and other gods, but we've decided to calm that down a bit and make it a little bit more stylish and elegant. So the approach up the resort, the driveway is stunning. When you do arrive there, a little bit of history about Royal Bahamian. Back in like 1946, the original resort was called the Balmoral Club, and it was kind of created for the royals, and the governor of the Bahamas back then was Edward VIII. Was the king of obviously the UK, and then he abdicated so he could marry Mrs. Simpson, okay, who was twice divorcee American person who you couldn't possibly accept in British establishment. So he again abdicated, and this is the bar we have called the Balmoral Bar, which has the history of Edward and Mrs. Simpson all around the walls, respecting the history of the actual Balmoral Club from the mid-40s onwards. So a little bit of history there in it, and you can see letters that Edward wrote to Mrs. Wallace as well, which is quite, again, interesting to be in there. And it's also a piano bar, so if you want to do a wee sing-along later on, you can do that as well. Then we also have another addition, obviously, to the resort is you don't just have to stay in the resort, you can go over and experience our offshore island. And again, a little part just to relax in, get a different feel, different vibe. It's just a short boat ride across that we supply. And then you could have a spa treatment. You could just sit there, chill. There's also a new restaurant we have on the island as well, which serves Caribbean seafood and grilled specialities. So that's one of our 10 restaurants that we have in the resort. So you can spend the whole day there. There's a pool, there's a bar. I've spent the whole day there. Not in the bar, can I just point that out, just around the island I was. I would have missed the boat if I'd spent the whole day in the bar, and I don't want to be marooned there on desert island discs. Then, of course, what's really important is we've totally redesigned our restaurants. It made them, again, inspirational in the type of cuisine we offer. So within that resort, there's only 404 rooms, right? So 404 rooms. Remember, it's for adults only, 2 people in each room. So there's only going to be a maximum of 808 guests when we're full, and we've got 10 restaurants. So that's pretty incredible ratio of restaurants to guests. And it's all a la carte restaurants in the evening, fine dining as well. So, for example, the new Butch's restaurant, named after Mr. Stewart, is our fine steakhouse, where you can have a Wagyu sirloin steak, you can have a lobster tail in season. Really a stunning place to have dinner. And classic steak Diane, crab cakes, clam and corn chowder, warm apple slice. Oof, lovely. I haven't even had lunch yet, but that looks quite tempting. But I'm not going to be having anything as posh as that for my lunch. Then we also redesigned one of my favourite restaurants called La Plume, French cuisine. Again, very stylish, little coved glass frontage overlooking the pool. Just a great position and place to be as a couple, just something romantic and elegant. And remember, it's all food cooked to order. It's very simplistic. If you've got an allergy or any food requirement, then we can arrange all that before you go to arrange a menu for you. We also have Soy, our sushi restaurant, where the fresh sushi is made in the restaurant itself in front of you. We've got Gordon's, which is on the pier restaurant as well. All these different locations for you to experience different styles of food, and 10 restaurants as well, as an Italian, grilled specialities, seafood, and a British pub as well. And not just that, we've also got this new area. This is the Coconut Grove. We used to have a big building here, which was our entertainment centre. and it was never busy. It was a very underused space. So what did we do? We just completely redesigned and put this, again, amazing new space where we have entertainment in the evening, we have DJs, but again, during the day, we've got 2 food trucks there. So it's very current, very, you know, in style, as they say. We've got 2 food trucks, the Cocoa Queen, which again, you've got local Caribbean, Bahamian delicacies there, fish tacos, pulled pork sandwiches, stewed conch, right? Very hard to get in Scotland, can I just say, where I'm based. There's not much stewed conch going about here, but again, the chance to experience the cuisine. And also, we all like sweets and things. Sorry about the accent there, but we've got Nutella and banana, you know, crêpe Suzette, chocolate crepes, Caribbean coffee with rum cream. So all these things there. And remember, it's all included, unlimited, 24 hours a day. So really delightful. And then the wine that we pair with our restaurants. We've got 6 different choices, 3 white, 3 red, and we have a sparkling French wine as well. So they're all included from the Robert Mondavi Twin Oaks. And also the cocktails and mocktails we have. There's a little cocktail list you can work your way through, from the Purple Rain, the Dirty Banana, right the way down to Miami Vice. So again, that adds to your whole experience with the cocktails, all originally made to order. And not just the restaurant refurbishment, but the bar refurbishment. We've got the cocktail menu there as well, your choice of cocktails in there in the evening. You can have a drink here before you go to La Plume or Butch's. And it's not just indoor, it's outdoor as well. So there's a little spot overlooking the ocean. You can sit and have your cocktail there. So obviously the other refurbishments we've done is to the rooms. We have a fleet of Rolls Royces, which is for the top suites in the resort. So we do a transfer about 10 to 15 minutes from the airport, International Airport, straight to the resort. And if you're lucky enough to one of the top suites, you'll be escorted by, obviously, the butler, by driven Rolls Royce to the resort, met by your butler, and then escorted straight to your room. And then obviously the pool areas as well. That's just one of the pool areas. Again, for you to chill out, that's the more, I know it doesn't look like it, but that's the photo shoot. That's the active pool where there's a lot more going on. And then you've got the quiet pool on the other side of the resort as well. They're again on the island, it's been totally redesigned and again restyled. So we've got a lot of nice chill out areas there. You can even have your spa treatment on the island as well, rather than just the Red Lane Spa. And the island village is the part I showed you earlier, which is to the rear of the resort. So it's a lot more, again, garden-like, low rise, very quiet, subdued, private plunge pools. Again, look at that. That's your own soaking tub out in the balcony, soaking tub for 2 to sit in there, your plunge pool there as well. The redesign of the colour scheme of the resorts with your premium brands on display there. So really beautiful, stunning new suites. And as well as that, the club rooms have been redesigned as well. Because what we like to show you is the new day, the rainforest shower, we're all using new, in keeping in style, artwork and obviously colour schemes. But we always like to sort of try and remind you of how we have moved on as a brand from what maybe some people that used to think what Sandals was all about. So within our West Bay, the Ocean View Suites, we've got swim up suites, which are absolutely stunning overlooking the ocean. We've got the oceanfront suites where you can just sit there on your terrace with your plunge pool overlooking the beautiful ocean and Cable Beach. And then, of course, you've got the style of the rooms, how much they've changed there, with your soaking tub in the balcony and then themed colour schemes compared to how it used to look. So it's trying to show you, I mean, that I remember that style well, brown carpets, dark 4-poster bed, mahogany. That was what maybe a lot of people still think Sandals is. So that room now looks, again, completely different, a lot lighter. We keep some of the 4-poster beds in some of the room because a lot of our guests do enjoy that. But I think the biggest change for me is that the Windsor Ocean View 1-bedroom butler suite. That's how it used to look, and this is how it looks now. So the transition is phenomenal. So Sandals, new styles and new flavours, really in keeping with customers today. And of course, they get their in-room amenity kit. So again, that's just, again, little extras for them to take home as a keepsake when they arrive there. So weddings, in the last couple of minutes of my presentation, weddings are completely complimentary. So a great spot in the Royal Bahamian is on, again, one of our over-the-water gazebos. So a beautiful place to get married and complimentary, which is pretty phenomenal. And remember, if you are going to Sandals, always ask the question if it's their anniversary, because 30 days either side of their actual anniversary, if they're on holiday, they get a free night. So that's in a club in a butler suite. So again, more enticing to go to the Bahamas. And also one of the top trips, which I managed to do, was swimming with the pigs, which is an island route tour. It takes about 9 hours, and it leaves from Sandals Royal Bahamian, which is again a big attraction and on the bucket list for a lot of customers. So again, that would appeal to them. Why go to the Bahamas? Well, swim with the pigs is one of the major reasons. All our activities are included, the spa, the gym. The gym's a penthouse gym overlooking the ocean. So we could have turned that into a beautiful butler suite, but no, we made a gym. So that's phenomenal if you want to visit the gym. Again, all the the non-motorized water sports are included as well, scuba diving and nightly entertainment as well. So pretty phenomenal. And then finally, if you want any of our information for offers as such to post and promote Sandals Royal Bahamian after this webinar, selling sandals for agents on Facebook with our marketing toolkit there. And of course, your free nights. If you book a butler suite, you get 3 free nights. Book a club room, you get 2 free nights, and any other room type, you get 1 free night. So you can actually have a free week at Sandals Royal Bahamian simply by doing butler suite bookings to that resort. So pretty phenomenal. And that's me in closing. What inspires me? My kids. So I've been lucky enough to take them out to Sandals beaches 3 times. And the thing that keeps me inspired every day is them. And of course, you guys doing a booking, especially to Nassau and the Royal Bahamian. So that's me. Thank you for listening. Just hopefully get you inspired to make a booking to Sandals Royal Bahamian. And I shall stop sharing and start being quiet.
Thank you so much, Gary. That's brilliant. It is looking amazing. I was there many, many moons ago. And yes, it's looking absolutely stunning now. Well, over to the amazing Erica. Erica will tell us all about the Cove and the Reef. So
let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
Yes,
okay.
we can.
Yes,
Good.
just
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much, Gary. It was a great presentation. Love the property. Now I'm going to take you guys over across the bridge, as Sangeeta mentioned. So we were in Cable Beach right now. So now we're moving over to Paradise Island. I know many of you know Atlantis. Today I'm going to focus mostly on the luxury section of it, which is the Cove and the Reef. So starting, hold on a second. So to give you an idea, I'm giving you a bird's eye view of the property. So the Royal is the center of Atlantis. It's the heartbeat of Atlantis. That's where what everybody recognizes is our themed building. It's the building that's in all of our marketing designs, and it's it's based on what Atlantis could have, the lost city of Atlantis could have been 7 million years ago. So basically we bring the experience of the water to the guests in that property. Then moving on to our luxury products, we have the Cove and we have the Reef, and I will go into the difference between each one of them, because a lot of people have a lot of difficulty kind of picking what property to put their guests in, okay? And then in addition to that, we have the Coral, which I'm not going to focus on today. However, just to let you know, that is there. That is one of our entry level, that's our entry level property, okay? Our water park, themed water park. At the resort, you can see where everybody has access to the water park. You can see as you're walking around different slides, different areas, different water coasters, and also different swim areas that all the guests have access to. Okay, so I'm going to touch a little bit on the Royal. We are completing a renovation of the Royal. So the East Wing, which is this part over here, is completely redone already. All the rooms are redone, and we're working on the West Wing right now. So it's not necessarily one of our most luxury products like the Cove and the Reef are. However, with the renovation, a lot of people are opting to stay there because it is in the center of the resort. Okay, so all our rooms will be complete. The West Wing will be complete in May. However, all our rooms that are in the East Wing are complete. So if you're selling the Royal, your guests are going to get from now forward, your guests are going to get the renovated rooms because we are not selling the West Wing right now. So all the rooms that we are selling are the renovated. Okay. We also have fabulous suites, entry-level rooms, and we also have regal suites and grand suites and royal suites. One of the biggest things that you're coming from so far away, right? We have the direct flights, it's a 9-hour flight and etc. I highly recommend booking the water, okay? Either harbor or water view. We do have the terrace category, that is the entry-level category in each tower. But those views are going to be those are going to be the first, second, and third floors where you're going to get views of our waterscape and views of our landscape. However, the best views, especially if you're staying in a long haul, I would definitely recommend the water and then the harbor, okay? Because the harbor, you will see, the back of where Nassau is. So the Cove and the Reef, we're located on beautiful Paradise Beach, which is on Paradise Island. The Cove was built on stilts, so every suite has views to the ocean. It was built so that every room has a view, regardless of what category you get. So we don't have terrace categories at the Cove. We start with ocean. So the third, fourth, and fifth levels are usually what our ocean view are. Then we have Deluxe Ocean, and then we have Club Lapis Deluxe, and then we have our Super Suites, okay? And then the Reef, also right next door to the Cove, is also one of our properties that is more of luxury. So how we like to explain it is that the Cove and the Reef, it's kind of staying in a resort within a resort. Like you're staying in your private area, however, you have access to everything that Atlantis has to offer. So if you can see, the Royal is on this area over here. You'll see a bit of the water park. This beautiful beach over here is called the Cove Beach, and this one is Paradise Beach. So let's go on to a little bit, the difference of a little bit. So the Cove has that wow factor as soon as you arrive. The lobby has it's an open air lobby. As soon as you arrive, you see there's turn down at night for the lobby with scents and different lighting. During the day, you will see the beach. As soon as you pull up in your car, you see the beach through the lobby. Different check-in areas for your VIP guests. We do have separate check-in area for those that are staying in super suites or VIP guests. It is the only property in the resort that has a pool designated for adults. So it's an adult-only pool. It's called the Cove Ultra Pool. Just so that people don't get confused, the tower, meaning the Cove, we do accept children, okay? Kids can stay with their parents in the rooms. However, just keep in mind that the property itself has an adult-only pool right there at the Cove, okay? We do have a family pool right next to it which we share with the Reef, with guests from the Reef. However, just keep in mind that this adult-only pool is only for guests that are 18 or older that are staying at the Cove only. So if you're staying at the Reef, the Royal, etc., they're not going to have access to this Cove pool. So a lot of times, if you have families that maybe have little ones that the parents are not going to leave their kids alone and so forth, maybe it's better for them to stay at the Reef because they're not going to take advantage of this adult-only pool. And the reason it's for adults only is because we have some casinos, some gaming tables out there. So there are some gaming tables, there's a DJ, and some live entertainment out there. It also is the only product we have that has the only tower we have that has a club level. So we have Lapis Club Lounge located on the 22nd floor, which is our top floor at the resort. And guests who stay in club level rooms have access to it. We do have daily breakfast, snacks, cocktails, and desserts served there. So if your guests want that extra service with maybe a private concierge and so forth to help them out, the club level rooms and the access to the club are a great option for those discerning guests that really want that extra touch. This is our entry level room. It's our own ocean suites. The Cove was designed, as I mentioned before on the image, it was designed for every room to have a view of the ocean. So regardless of what floor you're in, you're going to have a view of the ocean. And most of the rooms are king bedded with a sleeper sofa. So keep in mind that if you're going to have a family of four, maybe if the kids are small, maybe they will fit in the sleeper sofa. However, if your family has like two adults and maybe two teenagers, you might want to get a either 2 rooms, or we do have availability for a queen guaranteed only room, but only in the deluxe ocean category. Okay. And those are only available. Those are very slim. We only have a limited amount of them, so they go fast. Okay. And we also have our sapphire suites. We have different levels of suites as well. We have sapphires, azures, and we also have penthouses and presidential suites at the Cove. These all have butler service. They have beautiful views. The sapphire suites in particular are built at the end of the Cove. So right at the end, at the point where the 2 beaches meet. So you have the view of the adult only pool, and then all the cabanas, and of the 2 beautiful beaches of the nave. So this is a great option for people who want that extra space and that extra touch of view and extra service. Now, moving on to the Reef. The Reef, I would say, is a little more family oriented. We do have adults only who stay there as well if they'd like to, but it's a little more family oriented because all the rooms are studios, and the studios do have kitchenettes. So families that maybe have a little one, a toddler, or they just want access to that little kitchenette area where they can warm up some milk or so forth. It's an excellent option. Also keep in mind, as the same way, it does have a king bedded room, a king bed. However, we do have it's not a full size, it's actually a queen size sleeper sofa. So it easily accommodates a family of 4. We do have a large restroom, and every room does have, as I mentioned, the kitchenette. And people often ask, people going to cook? Are they going to, where are they going to buy their groceries? Don't worry, nobody's going to cook on holiday, right? So, but for those that need that extra, like as I mentioned, if they're traveling with nannies, or if they're coming with, little babies, we do have a little store in our lobby that you can purchase milk, cereals, etc. We also have a service there you can order online for supermarket if you want to, and have it delivered as well. Usually that happens at the 1 and 2 bedroom suites, because the studios are excellent, but the 1 and 2 bedroom suites are these are more of your home away from home. They're like an apartment. They have a full size foyer, living area, and a full kitchen. So it was this category was very used in 2020, 2021 during the pandemic, when people were trying to flee their work from home. So they were working from their home away from home. We had stays of 2 weeks, 3 weeks to a month of people. Actually, the biggest question we had was like, how's your internet? Because my kids need to go to school while they're there. So it's an excellent option for big families, and also those multi-generation families. When the grandparents bring their kids and their grandchildren, etc. If you get a 2-bedroom suite, you have that that headquarters where everybody can meet in the living room, pop a bottle of champagne because they have a full kitchen or so forth. And then they have a room with the main master room in one area, and you have another room on the other side. So it's an excellent option for those larger families, or for people who want the extra space. We also have the Topaz suites, just like the Cove. These at the Reef are built at the end. So you have floor to ceiling windows, and you have beautiful views of, Paradise Beach. And the reason people come to Atlantis is not necessarily their sleeping room, right? We do have an array of entertainment, an array of add-ons for the guests. So one of them is the dig. It's our marine habitat. We have around 50,000 marine animals. We are a rescue and rehabilitation center. So a lot of our marine exhibits are educational. The main one is called the dig. It's located right in the Royal. As soon as you walk through the dig, it's a tunnel, and you see all the ruins of what the lost city of Atlantis could have been, surrounded by all the marine fauna. We also have our water park. I know Sangeeta mentioned our water park is a themed water park, continuing on with the theme of the lost city of Atlantis. We do have A lot of water coasters. They're not necessarily just just slides. They are water coasters. Once you get on this float and you fly through the water coaster, there's no way you can't like turn into a child at that point. Gary, you were mentioning what moves you as your kids. I think all of us, what moves us is our kids, and watching our children, watching them go through this through their eyes is one of the best things I think I've ever experienced. We also have one of our, you can see here, one of them, it's called the Serpent Slide. This slide actually goes through a tunnel where you have a marine shark exhibit around you. So you're going through a tunnel and the sharks are swimming around you. So those are experiences you can only live at Atlantis. Fun under the sun, we do have 11 pools. And beautiful beaches. We do have miles and miles of beaches. We have 3 beaches. And since we're located on Paradise Island, our beaches are large. There's a big patches of sand. We are located at the crest. The cove is located at the crest of, I've mentioned many times, 2 beautiful beaches, the Paradise Beach and the Cove Beach. And in front of the cove and in front of the Royal, we do have what's called our West Beach. If the guest wants to add to their experience, we do have entertainment. We have a kids club. It's from 3 to 12. There is a morning section, an afternoon section, and an evening hour. So a lot of parents, if they have like maybe a 10, 12-year-old, they don't want to leave them alone and they want to go alone to dinner. The parents want to go to dinner. Sometimes they'll leave them at the kids club at the evening section where they'll have pizzas, movies, and entertainment for the kids in the evenings. We also have a teen club. We realized a while back that the kids don't want to hang out. These teens don't want to hang out with their parents or their younger siblings, right? So I have one, I know. So stick them over at the Crush Teen Club. So it's amazing. They have their own DJ. Parents are not allowed. Adults are not allowed. So once the kids go in there, they feel like they're like royalty. We do have mocktails served there. An area where they can play video games cabanas over here for the ones that are a little more adventurous. So that's available. Mandara Spa. 36 private treatment rooms. It's amazing spa experiences. We also have our golf course. It's located on Paradise Island. I'm going to show you a map of the island. I know Sangeeta already has it, but I'm going to show you how close it is to our property. You just take a 3-minute shuttle. We also have a fitness center. A lot of people like to go to the fitness center. However, since we have beautiful beaches and so forth, we also have different courses where you can do like jogging and so forth. So this fitness center is included with the stay, but it also includes like a semi-Olympic pool and our basketball courts. Then we have a casino, 85 gaming tables and slot machines. If you want to test your luck, you're welcome to at the resort. Nightlife. The reason I kind of highlight a little bit of the casino is because a lot of the nightlife is, centered around that area. We have 2 clubs. We have one that's called Aura, another one that's called Dragons, and they're for adults only, and that's a lot of fun for our nightlife. As far as food and beverage, we do have 40 restaurants and bars at the resort. We are not an all-inclusive product. We are a la carte. We are working on, I know this question is going to come, is the meal plans or the half board and so forth. We did have them for a while. We are testing one right now, and we're going to see if we're going to actually release it. But that's something that's in the works because we know it is really important for our market. So we have any kind of restaurants, as I mentioned, 40 restaurants and bars located around the whole resort. So the beauty of Atlantis is that you have, or the Cove and the Reef also, is that you have access to all the restaurants around your area, plus the ones that are in the Marina Village or in the other areas of the resort. So reservations are easy to get. Most of our restaurants, our gourmet restaurants, are on open table already. So your guests are able to go in and make their own reservations, makes it easier. And we, like I mentioned, we have for every kind of taste. So we do have, world-renowned chefs restaurants. We have Fish by Jose Andres, which is located at the Cove. We also have a restaurant by Todd English, and Nobu we have also located right off our casino. We also have casual dining, buffets, hamburger, just like hamburger locations. We also have pizzerias. We have local restaurants with, the conch and the fresh cracked conch right in there. So it's amazing. Nobody's going to go hungry at the resort. So I know Sangeeta already mentioned this. We're located on Nassau Paradise Island, very close from the US. We have the direct flights from Heathrow and also various locations in the US. So as Sangeeta mentioned, if they're going to do a dual stay via Florida or via even New York, they could do, a couple days and just a couple days in the mainland, and then just go to Nassau for the rest of their holiday. So we're located on Paradise Island. If you see here in this area, this is the cove and the reef. This is the cove right here at the crest of these two beautiful beaches. As you can see, the island ends right here. So this beach ends up being private just for guests of the cove and the reef. Okay. Our golf course is right over here. It's located right at the other end of Paradise Island, but Paradise Island is relatively small. So you could walk from one end to the other. However, we do have shuttles available for those golfers. You take a 40-minute transfer from the airport, cross the bridge, and you get to Paradise Island. So when I mentioned about the views, when you request water views, it'll be always facing the ocean. Okay, the ocean and our waterscape in front, facing the ocean. If you get a harbor view, it is facing the back. So you will see the harbor, you will see the cruise ships, and you will see parts of Nassau South, depending on what floor you're at. And that's pretty much it. That's in a nutshell what Atlantis is, what Cove and the Reef is. I welcome you to ask any questions that I might have not covered.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Erica. We've got Sarah here now, so we can jump on to the Q&A. There are a few questions. One of the big question is, what's happened to the beach tower?
Oh, yes, I forgot to mention, right? Okay, so the beach tower, we used to have 5, right? Beach, Coral, Royal, Cove, and Reef. So the beach tower, after the pandemic, we closed. It's going to be a brand new product in 2024. We're partnering with another developer. It's called David Grutman. He also partnered with a hotel in Miami that's called Good Time, I think it is, but our property is going to be called somewhere else. It's going to be different. It's going to be lifestyle, contemporary, and we don't have a lot of details on it yet, but as soon as they come, we'll be sharing it with you. But that's closed right now. That whole area from the beach tower, for the ones that are familiar with the resort, that whole area where the beach tower was is completely closed down.
Brilliant. Thank you. Over to you, Sarah, to ask the Q&A.
Okay, Adrian's asked a recommendation for 2 adults and a 5-year-old.
Atlantis?
Yes. So as I mentioned, the reef would be fantastic if you wanted to, because 5-year-olds, if you needed to use maybe the kitchenette, that is available to you. Or if not, if you want to stay in the center of everything, I would recommend the Royal. The Royal, if you get a queen water, if you wanted a 1-bedroom suite, you could do it as well. The Royal is, I think, for the 5-year-old, the Royal is phenomenal. It's all going to depend on the adults. Do they like the more exclusive product, or do they like, or they're okay being in the Royal, which is the heartbeat and the zoom and it never stops, kind of like. So it's going to depend on their profile. If they prefer a little more what's the word? A little more, luxurious, and in their area where they can come and play at Atlantis and do everything at the water park and go through the marine habitats, but then go back to their area where they're a little calmer. I highly recommend the Reef. But if they're okay staying in the center of everything, the Royal would be perfect.
Depending on their budget, you also want to look at the Grand Hyatt, and you want to look at the Margaritaville, purely because of the water park and all the activities for kids in these hotels.
Super, thank you very much. Melanie's asked, are the Reef restaurants open on Christmas Day for breakfast and dinner?
Yes, absolutely. So the Reef, since it's our home away from home, the Reef has it shares a lot of the, as I mentioned, everybody has access to all of the restaurants. So the Reef per se has a small lobby with a small Starbucks in there where a lot of people just grab and go. However, since it's right next to the Cove, we do have our restaurants at the Cove that most of the Reef guests go and have breakfast if they want that big breakfast and so forth. But yes, so Jose Andres is at the Cove, located at the Cove, which is Fish Jose Andres, that's opened. And right now breakfast is being served there. Come Q1, we're going to have a new restaurant coming out, but they have access to all the restaurants, and yes, they're open for breakfast and dinner during New Year's.
Super. We've got a question here. My client and family is staying at the Reef 23rd of December to the 1st of Jan. They want to attend Roman Catholic midnight mass on the 24th. Can you recommend anywhere they should go?
Sangeeta, do you know?
Downtown, but we will if I can just ask the destination and come back, because we'll try and get you a program. So who's asked that question? I will take note.
They've not left a name, unfortunately.
Okay.
So they will
So
email you.
can they please email me sangeeta@amgltd.biz, or we'll when we do the follow-up, I will include that information.
Super. Also, which excursions would you recommend as a must-do in Bahamas?
All of them, but I think the swimming with the pigs, which Gary recommended, doing the water parks, certainly, going up to the Queen Stairs, just doing things like the foodie tour. If you've got your client is a foodie, then the foodie tour is absolutely a must. They'll get to see downtown Nassau, but experience the local specialities as well. And then you have some quirky tools like snorkeling with sharks and motorized and non-motorized sports. But yeah, there's plenty. If you go onto NassauParadiseIsland.com, there is a list of things to do, and it pretty much covers everything that are top things to do. Somebody had also asked, when is the new cruise port open? It opens up in May 2023.
Super. Sally asked, will you offer the all-inclusive again for Atlantis?
Never say never, but right now it's not on. I don't think it's not in the near future. When we did offer the all-inclusive, it was at the beach tower only. I don't know if you remember. And since that's gone, I don't know if it'll come back. The issue, not the issue, but one of the issues of trying to offer the all-inclusive at the resort is that many restaurants don't participate, like the restaurants that have like Nobu and so forth. They don't want to participate. So, that's why it made it hard. When we had it all inclusive, it was at the beach, and it was those restaurants that were around the beach. And since that logistical, that area is no longer there, I don't believe it's coming anytime soon. However, as I mentioned before, we're testing a half board right now to be able to to accommodate guests that want to prepay for, at least their breakfast and dinner.
I think one of the things to note is Nassau all-inclusives are not that popular, or they're not popular. They're not easily available in the Bahamas. But if you stayed, for example, at Atlantis, you've got all the restaurants in the marina. You've got all these 40 restaurants. And they range. I know that Brits like to sort of have some idea of what they're going to spend in advance, but actually there's so many choices that it would be a shame to just, give them an all-inclusive product. I understand Sandals has to be all-inclusive because it's all about, enjoying the facilities in Sandals. It's the honeymooners, the adults only, but yeah, it literally there's so many choices, and it's safe for people to walk out and go and eat at the stalls, or go down to Fish Fry, which is an area where there are local restaurants and things. So plenty on choice. Gary, one of the question Sarah, I can't see it in Q&A, but one of the question was, how many swim up rooms do you have?
there's two sides, the East Bay and the West Bay both have swim-up rooms, and there's approximately 15 on the East Bay and 15 in the West Bay, so 30. But the only, like everything, the amount of room categories we have, even though there's 404 rooms, we've got 33 different room categories with the biggest names you could ever imagine. You know, we've got a guy that works for Sandals that just makes up the room names. So yeah, there's the 30 of the swim-up suites, and then swim-up rooms, but then there's the oceanfront suites as well, which we've got 8 of.
Super.
So hopefully that answers the question whoever had asked. I can't see, but yeah.
Cool.
Question for Erica as well. Is there an extra cost for the teen club and kids clubs?
Yes, there are. There are extra costs. So it's around, I would say around, depending on the timing that you're going, for the teen club, it could be $25 to $40, depending on the time of the year, and the same for the kids club. Usually the kids club starts at $40 because it has more, it offers a lot more.
Super. I don't know if we have any more questions. Oh, Debbie's asked for you, Gary, what is the correct Sandals Facebook group to join, please?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's all just one word: selling sandals for agents. So just one big long, and that, put that into Facebook and you'll find us, and then you'll have all of our offers on there and all the incentives as such. And the funny thing is, just a wee story, SNG, to like going downtown. It's really easy to experience downtown when you're staying at Sandals. I hopped on the bus. It took like 10 minutes to get downtown, and I actually bought my wedding, or we bought our wedding rings in downtown Nassau in one of the jewelry shops, which was amazing.
Colombian Emeralds.
Yes, that was the place.
Or red, or what is it? John Bull.
Unfortunately, the wedding rings are now in separate drawers in different houses, but hey, that's another story. But hey, we bought them there, and it's got nice memories, put it that way. And it was a great experience going downtown and going to having a yard of ale in Margaritaville and all that. Great fun.
Super. Sangeeta, you've got a prize to give away today, haven't you? Are you going to ask us a little question? Just before you do, if everybody can make sure they go to chat and your drop down says everyone.
So we're going to ask Erica to ask a question.
Okay. If you have a couple that wants an area that they can be alone with no kids around, which would you book, the Cove or the Reef?
Well done, you all.
Fabulous.
Okay, I'm going back up to the top. Hang on.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Okay, so Karen was the first person.
Well done, Karen. You were super quick.
Was that a £50,000 voucher? Did I hear that correctly? I added some zeros on there, have I?
You have. It's £50. So well done, Karen, and thank you everybody for staying with us. Hopefully that's given you a good insight into the hotel products, a little bit around Nassau, things to do, but you know, we'll share our contact details. If something, a question does pop up, please shout and we'll find out for you around what is available in terms of a mass on 24th of December and share that information as well.
Super, thank you very much. Thank you to Erica, Gary, and
Thanks,
Sangeeta
Sarah.
for the great
Thank you,
presentation.
Sarah. Thank you, Sangeeta. Nice meeting you,
Thanks.
Gary.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.
See you later, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Ciao.
bye, bye.